Reynor is eager to start. Indy wants to know the 4th and 5th map. But yeah, unfortunately, guys, I won't be here for the 2v2 tournament tomorrow. It does kind of suck, but I promised my dad and my brother I'd be there. And I feel like they'll be bummed out if I cancel. So. Can't have it all in life. We'll play the following month again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss Arneslot? I miss Arneslot, but it's not like I sit here every day thinking like, oh, I miss our old coach so much. It's more just that Reynor this year is not consistent at all. And we lost good players and we didn't find good replacements. So it's definitely not the most fun year of the last 5 to be a Reynor fan. But hey, if we just beat AC Milan on the 12th, I have at least one very exciting week ahead of me. So let's hope that we peak on the 12th and we can keep that Champions League dream alive a little while longer. But it's going to be very hard. It's really going to be very hard. I'm honestly very happy with how good Slot is doing at Liverpool. I feel like that is a lot of coaches were probably quite terrified to be the next coach after Klopp, with how freaking good Klopp did it for Liverpool for all these years, and obviously he's a certified legend. It's something that you can say yes to, but it can also turn into a disaster, right? Where the fans get grumpy immediately, the team is not playing the way it should be playing, and before you know it, you get fired, and your first international adventure is a failure. He's doing beyond amazing. So, I'm happy for him. I think Liverpool is a cool team. Great stadium, great support. So, nice for them. Alright guys, here we go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
After the last ball, I mean, you can say that Erik ten Hag did a bad job at United, but it's not like they got better ever since they got rid of him. If anything, United has gotten a whole lot worse, which I didn't think was possible, but maybe Ten Hag wasn't all that bad. So maybe he wasn't a fraud all along. Maybe he was overperforming, who knows. Anyway, enough about football. Let's go ahead and enjoy this main event, guys. For the first time in 6 weeks, I get to cast some of his games. In the top right side of Ultra Love, it is the German Terran legend. He's been streaming for an incredibly long time as well, and he's very consistent with that. It is Mouse Sports, HeRoMaRinE. We all love Gabe, even if Gabe says a couple of crazy things every now and then on his stream. But you gotta love Gabe. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man who is indeed spawning as the blue Zerg. Expect basically only Zerg tonight. Small chance that he gives us a TVT if he takes a 2-0 lead. But we ask for his Zerg and we get his Zerg. Representing Basilisk, and it's going to be an exciting year for him. The Italian stallion, Reynor. There was even a Reddit thread made about Reynor, his League of Legends accomplishment. I always think that's fun to read. Some people are ultra passionate diehard Starcraft fans. They'll be like, Grandmaster in League, that can be impressive. That's like as impressive as getting Diamond in Starcraft 2. And I was like, I don't know much about League, guys, but I do know that a crazy amount of people play League. And if someone like Reynor has tried for so long to get GM in League, I'm pretty certain it's really hard to do it. But a lot of the Starcraft fans were not impressed. I'm happy for him. I know it meant a lot to Reynor. Finally getting that promotion in a different game. You know, in Starcraft there are no promotions for the man who has already been the world champ, who has won Game as 8, has made it to the finals of a BlizzCon, made it to another finals of Katowice. There are no more promotions to be made for this man. The only thing he can do is win even more tournaments. But getting that promotion in League, I think, meant a lot to him. Yeah, I would honestly say, and it doesn't mean that I think that League is a harder game than StarCraft. Obviously, I don't ever dare to say that. But I do think right now, if you're asking me, like, Roddy, what's harder, getting GM in League or getting GM in StarCraft? I would say it's probably way harder to do it in League. And it doesn't make League the harder game. It's just way more players. And there are some relatively simple ways in StarCraft where you can reach GM. Now, it's not simple to get ever close to the level that these two guys have, or the level of MaxPax or Clem or Maru. Like, that's obviously not easy. That is going to be as hard as anything in video gaming. But just getting GM in this day and age is probably a whole lot harder in League than it is in StarCraft. I know it's not the high. I know there is Challenger in League. That's even more difficult, but I mean, just based on the effort and time that it took Reynor, and I know how hard he has tried and how long he's been playing, I'm gonna assume that it's harder than getting GM in Starcraft in the year 2025. It obviously requires different skill sets as well. You have to trust an instinct teammates. Oh, I know, mate. As a semi-deadlock pro, I mean, some people look at me as one of the best 7 players in the world, and I would agree with that. But it's hard to win games. When you play with guys like Pi, they don't listen, they come up with their own plan, they go in a bit too deep. It's hard. Being successful in team games is difficult. It really does require a whole lot more than just trusting on your own skills and abilities. Thought I was a Mecha Pro? No, that's a work in progress. Not very good in the Mechabellums yet, but I'm just so mechanically gifted that it's hard to excel at a turn-based strategy game, you know? But we'll get there, mate. Reynor has a lair attack on the way. 5 minutes into this game as he drops the Baning Nest as well. Queen count is 8. HeRoMaRinE has just gone for a very traditional triple CC setup. Has only made 4 Hellions. I guess that's something we can point out. A Garen 1 trick? What does that even mean, mate? I don't even know what a Garen is. Oh no, I was joking, Wigan. Garen is a lore character. The little time that I spent on League, I played Vigar and Sona. Oh, Reynor's queens have to be very careful, by the way, because the first Marines are already here. I was a 2-champion hero in League. I played Vigar and Sona. That's all I did. Honestly, not a bad opening here by Gabe. Kind of like it as he stims forward, gets a cancel on the hatchery, pushes the creep back a little bit. I think Reynor was a little bit surprised to see this early Marine move out. I have no idea who Garen is. I know a couple, but I don't know that one. There was a stupid hero that threw the blades up in the sky all the time and could catch it. That hero really triggered me. I didn't like that guy at all. Draven. Couldn't stand that guy. Playing Warcraft 3 was incredibly painful because my settings just didn't feel right. So I basically couldn't really click on stuff, I couldn't react, and I know Warcraft is a slow game, but if you can't click on anything, it still becomes annoying. HeRoMaRinE stims forward, gets 2 queens. Gabe's kinda gaming here, no? 7 minutes into Ultra Love, I'm absolutely not hating what I see out of HeRoMaRinE. I'm starting to feel that Reynor is having a bit of a difficult time really getting things going. Reynor's drone count is not all that sexy. The creep is not bad, as obviously we can expect from a man like Reynor, but HeRoMaRinE has done a good job in at least making sure it's not out of control. There's been plenty of games of Reynor in the past where 5-6 minutes in it's basically knocking at the door of the third base of the Terran or the Protoss, and that is absolute hell. I kind of feel that Gabe is playing excellent here in game 1. He is not going for the 8 Rex. He is dropping a 4th base. He can obviously add additional Rexes later on, but Reynor, he is thinking of a little Zergling run by, but Reynor's just gonna have such a difficult time fighting this army, man. There's multiple tanks. It's 1-1 on the Marines. Obviously, combat shield is done. I don't know how Reynor takes a good fight here, but he is threatening some sort of a surround, and HeRoMaRinE is giving Reynor's position a lot of respect. Honestly, maybe a bit more respect than what was truly needed. But maybe in Gabe's mind, things can just not be this good. Can't all go this well. It really has gone that well. HeRoMaRinE has lost only 5 units, guys, in the first 8 minutes. 3 Marines and 2 Hellions. That's all that has gone down on the side of Gabe. Reynor's having a tough time really getting his drone count to the point that he would love to be at that. Gabe's cooking. Double factory, pumping out 2 tanks at a time. At least Reynor is going to make it up to Baneling speed. That's mega. And as soon as Reynor has Baneling speed, there's obviously always potential for some great fights with Lings, Roaches, Ravages. Banelings coming in from different angles. A little Ling Bane counterattack could be big. And that would be a nice play, by the way, on this map. If a Terran would find a little bit of time to pick up 1 Marine and drop it at the Zelnaga Watchtower. Reynor comes in from 3 different angles and should be able to take a pretty good fight here against the tanks, as he absolutely gets what he is looking for. HeRoMaRinE does have a little 8 Marine drop in the bottom right side, gets an easy cancel on a potential 5th base. So Reynor does good, but this is Lair Tech Zerg. And it's like, okay, you do good once, but there is going to be a new push, the second wave of the Terran. I don't know if Gabe should already be here with the next 2 tanks though. It's maybe a little bit too early, because Reynor still has so many units left over. Did not like the extra 2 tanks. I would have preferred HeRoMaRinE to wait until he has a few more. Reynor's now wondering if he can make some magic happen on HeRoMaRiNE's side of the map. This base is not a planetary yet, so temporary cancel. Those 8 Marines have apparently been abandoned by the medevac. Alright, couple very good moments for Reynor. Great fight in the center, great fight against the second wave. And in the end, deals with the Marines in the bottom right. This is what I meant, by the way. You can drop units here. You can blink a Stalker here, even when the rocks is still up. I think it'd be nice if Terran players would just pick up 1 Marine and you drop it there. And then you can also F2 stim all you want and it's still gonna be there. And you still have control of the Zelnaga Watchtower. Reynor wonders if this is a fight that he can take. Does have a really good engagement with a couple of Lings on the top side. Gets on top of 2 of these tanks immediately. There are still so many Banelings in the mix. The tanks are falling like flies, and even for a man like HeRoMaRinE, this is going to be very difficult to micro, as he has to micro Marines and Marauders on 2 completely different sides of the screen. Reynor gets on top of the SCVs as well, and it looked so promising for Gabe. But in the end, 11 minutes in, it's starting to look like the Italian Stallion is going to do what he has done so often, and it's be all over a Terran. Hive is now done, Adrenal Glands gets fired up immediately. 3rd base in shambles. And this game looked really good, I think, for Gabe. Shame he was not able to capitalize on it. Gave Reynor maybe a bit too much respect once or twice, and then right when he probably should have just slowed the game down a little bit, that's when he tried to send even more tanks to the other side of the map. And it just allowed Reynor to really get things going, find that momentum that the Italian is looking for. And now with Hive done, Reynor can obviously start getting Vipers. I mean, even a 3rd factory is... Wait, did he... I guess he lost a factory, right? Yeah, he's now a single factory. Guess we had 1 factory over here on the low ground at the 3rd. No one got picked off. HeRoMaRinE in some trouble. Reynor has never been like mega rich, so it's not that Reynor's sitting on 4k and he can just make him 100 Banelings and click them into the Terran base on the other side of the map. So many medevacs, by the way. 11 medevacs for 13 Marauders, 30 Marines. HeRoMaRinE splits off 14 Marines in a Marauder, as he is looking for another cancel on the bottom right, but Reynor has just re-expanded towards the left side. But there's not a whole lot that Gabe is going to find there. Current Baneling count is 16, 11 more Banes morphing for Reynor. Does not feel like that's the spot. HeRoMaRiNE's macro always good though. Somehow finds himself at 188 supply after all those big losses, but now there are Vipers in the mix. The Lings are better than they've ever been. A parasitic bomb in the middle of all these medevacs. And it took Gabe a little while to realize, maybe Gabe busy with dropping on the bottom side the Spore Crawler, the Giga Chat Spore. Snipes one of the medevacs. Gabe does not have a Ghost Academy, doesn't have a Fusion Core. He's just kind of stuck building the current composition of units that he's working with. A lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders, a couple tanks, and maybe a Liberator or 2. The Vipers have energy once more. Baning connections initially pretty good. Can we get a couple more? Man, there's so many Zerg units. It's everywhere you look. Reynor's got more Lings and Banes swarming in from different angles. And in the end, all that's left is a few libs. I'm afraid for Gabe that this is no longer really it anymore. Medevacs 4 days. Liberators survive, but that's kind of it. That is just kind of it. These two, of course, have a lot of history with each other. They've both been one of the best players in the world and definitely the best of their respective races in the region. The biggest series they ever had was at IEM Katowice, the 1 year where HeRoMaRinE had that magical run, made it into the semi-finals, and they even took the 2-0 lead. We were one map away from a HeRoMaRinE Grand Finals appearance in Katowice, when that was the World Championship. But then Reynor did what he has done very often throughout his career, and that is get a reverse sweep. Sure, that's a series that Gabe still thinks of from time to time. It's not gonna help him here as Reynor takes the 1-0 lead with the Vipers, all the Lings, all the Banelings. Looked really good for HeRoMaRinE, man. I really think that Gabe had some great potential in this game, had a clean start, felt that he was playing solid. One time gave Reynor a little bit too much respect, but I really think that his army was powerful enough to battle. And then obviously Reynor just found a great engagement later on when Gabe was big, when Gabe was well set up. And Reynor had a very beautiful engagement. And instead of at that point slowing the game down a little bit, trying to get the tank count back up, HeRoMaRinE tried to continue to be aggressive, lost 2 more tanks immediately. And that was kind of the beginning of the end. Frostline is going to be our second map. Bless you, thank you. Always bless yourself, guys. If there's no one else to bless you, you bless yourself. Still a pretty fun first game. I'm not unhappy with it. I thought it was enjoyable. I know. Snap blast me. You guys know the meme I'm talking about, right? When a guy sneezes, he's getting interviewed, and he's like, bless you, thank you. That is one of these little meme videos that lives rent-free in my head. I just love it. Ben also does that. Demo. I'm not like mega passionate about the teams that are in the Super Bowl, but I think I'm cheering for the Eagles. Just because A, it's fun to see a different team win. And B, I think their quarterback and the running back, like that duo is just really cool, and they've played amazing. So I'm cheering for the Eagles. But my real team in the NFL is the Falcons. I just love them birds, you know.
Round 2, fight!
Sorry, Kansas. For you, if the Chiefs win, I'll be very happy for you. You know I love you, brother. I've had enough of Taylor Swift being on camera cheering for her man. Mahomes winning every year. I need a change up. Let Philly party. To be fair, they did also win, right? Like 7 years ago or something. Against Brady back then. I'm just hoping for the Eagles this time. Bottom left side of Frostline taking the 1-0 lead. The Italian Stallion representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. By the way, wing it since you have all the stats. I feel that Reynor must have a pretty good record in the Big Brain Bouts too, no? He defeated MaxPax a couple times a long time ago. He beat Spirit. I think he beat SKillous. He played off-race, not counting the off-race series. He also won with his off-race. With his Terran, he won against Clem Zerg. Down 0-2. Reynor fashion. It made it look nicer than it looks. I know he lost to Serral once in the Big Brain Bouts, but... yeah, I was Kodro. I started following the NFL in maybe the year 2012, 2013. That's when I started following, because that's the year that I moved to America back then, and all my colleagues were always hyped over football. An entire day was dedicated to football. And if you're sitting in an office and everybody's excited over something, you kind of want to be excited too. But to get into a sport, I need to have at least something to cheer for. And back then, LA had no team, so I went for the Falcons. Yeah, Reynor lost the TVT against Serral on the Royal Blood. Banger game. Top right side of Frostline, we are looking at the main base of Mouse Sports, their very own. He has been representing them for 11 years or something at this point. It is HeRoMaRinE. Jumi and Sham are the best with 7 and 3. What about Serral? Serral is going to be very good now. Serral has only lost one time against Max. Ten and 6 is not bad, but I'm surprised that Reynor lost 6 times. I don't really remember that many Reynor losses. Serral's 5 and 1. I'd say 5 and 1 is better than 7 and 3 winged, but I guess you're just going by highest amount of victories. Is the 10 wins of Reynor, is that more than anybody else has? Can't really imagine if somebody else has 10 wins, right? You forgot about Serral? Normally I would cut you some slack and be like, yeah, okay, I can see that, but I don't know how to everybody, how do we forget about Serral? That's like the one guy that should kind of jump to mind when it comes to having a great record in something. Yeah, but I gave Trigger a lot of very, very tough opponents in the beginning. Because I always believed in Trigger, and I do believe that you learn a lot from playing competitive, but maybe doable series. But yeah, if a lot of them are just like barely not doable, you get a bad record. SKillous, I mean, SKillous is so good, right? That's kind of crazy that he's 2-9. But same thing that goes for Trigger also goes for SKillous. Gave him a lot of very tough opponents as well. Nikita wanted to play this week, but I told him there is unfortunately no space, but maybe next week. Maybe SKillous Trigger. One of them has to get a W, but the other one it gets even worse. The problem is that a lot of you guys are not excited over PvP anymore. I'll just do it. I assume none of them had the power to do it, so I'll just do it. I like the go in caps. Could have gone for the countdown, but it's Friday night. This has already started almost an hour later than it was supposed to start, so I don't want to waste that time. You know, we're just getting it done. You know, goddamn Twitch, I've seen that clip a little bit as well of the Philly guy. And I know that Philly fans have a reputation, but it's really stupid to make it seem that like suddenly all the fans of the Eagles are dickheads or rude or trashy. It's like, that's just not going to be a thing ever. When you have a stadium with 80,000 people, not all of them are going to be bad. It's, sure, maybe the percentage is a little bit higher in Philadelphia than in some of the other cities, but it's really stupid to label all their fans as something, because this is never the case. Like, that is basically the same as participating in racism or whatever. That's just dumb. Just because some people are stupid doesn't mean all of them are going to be stupid. I have already, even in my lifetime, met a couple of very nice, respectable, kind people from Philadelphia that happen to support the Eagles. Just because there are some donkey, like, I'm a Feyenoord fan. Feyenoord fans have a very, very bad reputation in Europe. We are banned from a lot of the away games because fans in the past misbehave, but just because there are some idiots in RotterdaM that can't behave wherever they go, doesn't mean that all Feyenoord fans are bad. I believe it, Gabagood, and you can say the same thing about RotterdaM. Like, yeah, Feyenoord fans have misbehaved more than once when they went abroad. They misbehaved in Rome, they misbehaved in, was it Lille or wherever they went back then? Little French city near the border, Mönchengladbach a long time ago, but there are still plenty of really good, passionate Feyenoord fans out there. And it's always sad to see them get punished as well, just because some idiots can't control themselves. And to be fair, they are barely fans. All they do is get drunk, use drugs, and look for fights whenever they travel. Like, not sure how that makes you a Feyenoord fan, but okay. Thank you to Happy the Bunny. Great name. I love that name. That's very sweet. I'll take it. And WizzleWee as well with the 24 months, 2 years. We've got 8 Hellions roaming the top side of the map looking for A potential opening. Double cloak Banshee, but Gabe is clicking them right over the queens. He activated cloak early, but Reynor's queen movement, as so often in the past, is great. Oh my god. Meine Fresse, das geht doch nicht. That's really bad, guys. That is incredibly, incredibly bad. Stunning defense by Reynor. Very unfortunate for HeRoMaRinE, losing 2 Banshees without a single drone kill. Hope taken Debut. Debut is kind of like imbecile. In general, Dutch people would use that word when somebody acts very out of character. And just acts like an idiot. Yo, Geert. Nah, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I think that all the fans, when Feyenoord plays against AC Milan in 2 weeks, I heard there are 4,500 tickets available. Finally, Italy welcomes Feyenoord fans again. I honestly think outside of maybe like a couple of minor incidents, it's all going to go well. I really do think that. Like obviously, they really miss as well. Like not being able to go to Rome for all these games sucked. Not going to Lille away sucked. So I may hope that the away fans will behave. If they don't, I'll be very sad too. I love that stadium though of the Eagles, Kodre. I think it looks amazing. Whenever I watch American sport events from the Netherlands, I'm always at TV. I was like, man, these stadiums look sick. So many of them are just god tier. I hope I have the opportunity to watch something in some of them. Gonna be hard to visit all of the stadiums I want to visit, but the Eagles Stadium looks really cool to me. That's a dream one as well, all I wanted. That is a dream one for me to visit one day. Ideally when it's really cold. You know, somewhere like December, January. I hope I can have a little Green Bay visit. Gabe throws down a scan. Obviously, it's very hard for Gabe to continue the aggression after he couldn't get anything done with the Hellions and the Banshees. Now, these Hellions are going to get surrounded as well. Reynor displaying some great circling movement here, not allowing these Hellions to get their money shots off. And where in the first game, guys, I really felt that there was like hope and there was potential for HeRoMaRinE, and it felt like he had a great start. This game, I'm not feeling any of that. Reynor is playing at another level. He's just playing a lot better, cleaner, faster than he did in that first game. And HeRoMaRinE is just having a hard time really getting anything going. The MCG in Melbourne. I've seen that because I've gone to Melbourne once, so I saw that stadium. It's kind of like downtown. So when I was on the highway, I saw it. It looks amazing. But there were no events back then to go to. And even though Vicky would love to go to Australia once, I told her that I'm not making that journey again. I really felt that I went through happiness and depression on the same trip, traveling from Europe to Australia. It just felt like it never ended. It's legit punishment to do that to yourself. I don't mind an 8-hour journey, a 10-hour journey, a 12-hour journey, but going from Amsterdam to Melbourne, it's not something you should do for fun. You go over all the life moments, starts with elementary school, high school, first girlfriend, second girlfriend. It's too much time with my own thoughts. I can't do that, man. I need to be a yapper. I need to have something happening. I cannot be stuck in planes for 22 hours straight. It does bad things to me. You've been a Packers fan all your life? I think Green Bay is a very cool team. I had everything, guys. I had books, I had movies. I was so ready. And yet I have no idea how Pig and Maynard made that journey so many times for European Starcraft events. I can see it for like Katowice, you know, the biggest event of the year. You do it one time, you get paid, obviously, then it's fine. But doing it for some of those minor DreamHacks like they did in the past, it's torture. I'm not surprised that Maynard eventually said, like, it's enough. Yeah. It's something you just have to do before you understand how freaking grueling and long it is. And I've traveled a lot in my life. Even when I lived in LA, obviously I had a lot of trips to Asia, so those are pretty long journeys too, but all of it skilled in comparison to the journey to Australia. EWC delays are cursed. Haven't you seen that clip by now, guys? It's the year of the rabbit. It's confirmed. Don't worry about these timers. No bad things ever happen in the year of the rabbit. Keep that in mind. By the way, Gabe is going full turtle mode, and I do kind of understand that. He's building 6 command centers. Not the most action-packed ZVT, maybe not the kind of ZVT that your dreams are made out of, but Gabe's early game was just so rough that he's got no other options. He's got no other choice. So I like what he's doing here. I hope for him that he can turn it into something. Reynor is maybe just waiting for some of these final upgrades to finish up. He's got Adrenal Glands. We got Vipers as well. He's probably getting energy. Nobody gets invited to cast this early, Jeff Bezos. I can guarantee you that. Now, I do always think, obviously, that if there is a World Championship of StarCraft in the year 2025, that I will be there. But the invites would never be sent out this early. That would happen in, like, early as April, but May or June is a lot more likely. What if we just go full Kalaras and we hit them with the triple header? We're casting StarCraft, Deadlock, and Macabellum at EWC 2025. Whoop whoop. Then I'll be retired. 3 events in Saudi and you don't need to do anything for the rest of the year. Now let's hope for one. I won't be greedy, I'll take one. Right, last game, Reynor was obviously forced to take a lot of fights that really mattered because he didn't have much of a bank. So if one bad fight would have happened, he would have been in trouble. This game, he's freaking rich. He doesn't have an amazing amount of gas, but he's got literal minerals for days. He's got enough minerals to survive all the way to the summit, straight into EWC. And he's hitting us with burrows, banelings. You gotta love it. What a man. He did that for me. Imagine Roddy casting the Mustangs. I do a great job, mate. Few abducts land on the Vikings. First Viking will fall. Second Viking will fall. It just kind of feels that Reynor has a lot. And Gabe, well, near planetaries, Gabe is going to be strong. And to be fair, he is crawling his way forward with more and more planetaries. If I was Reynor, I'd personally not let this planetary come online, but I guess it's easier said than done. Trying to prevent that. Because there are 3 tanks protecting this planetary. I'm sure we'll get some long distance mining. Gabe is going to take much better trades here now that this is a planetary. You know, you just opened the stream, you're probably wondering what the hell has happened in this game. Well, HeRoMaRinE had a bad start. Basically couldn't do anything and said, F it, I'll go absolute full turtle mode. But Reynor said, okay, I'll just get Hive and I'll macro up and I'll get rich, and here we are. I gotta say, I like the game for Gabe more now than I've ever liked it before. It's starting to look like this is going somewhere. He's even gonna take this bottom base. Yes, he's even going to take out this bottom base. Reynor has made Zerglings forever, so the larva is now very, very low. He does have the double macro hatch in the main base. Whenever I see the double macro hatch, I think of Dark. That guy, putting me on blast in that interview with Wax Angel. I love Dark. He's one of my favorites, but I'll never forgive him for that. Cannot believe it. How that man blasted me. Scan goes down as a couple of the creep tumors get picked off. Sensor towers and missile turrets coming up. It's a long story, Kama. But the TLDR of the long story is that he had a very early double macro hatch in his main. So I told Wax Angel to ask him about it because it was kind of cool. I was wondering if that's a Neil thing or why he thought it was the right move to do. And then Dark responded with, I basically do this every game. Whoever asked the question must not have been watching StarCraft lately. I was like, what? Then out of spite, out of absolute pity, I looked at his 10 most recent professional CVTs. He did it in one of them. In 1 out of 10. And a lot of them went on for a long time. Can't believe it. Guy that blasted me for absolutely no reason. But I love Dark. Dark is a god. He can bully me. He can make fun of my question. I don't care. I will always love Dark. Lings and Banes are gonna full surround this planetary in the center. Reynor could maybe burrow a couple of them if there's no sensor tower here. Does find a little opening. Gets a tank in the natural as well. Obviously the downside of building so many PFs in the bottom side of the map and having a lot of tanks there is it's gonna be harder to maybe defend your original natural and the triangle base. Reynor fires up 5 ultras. The nice thing for Reynor now is that he can kind of go back and forth. He can go for a high-tech slow army and he can go for a fast army. And he can just kind of go switch through. The moment that the ghost count is high, we can go very heavy on the Lings and Banes. And when the ghost count gets a little bit lower, you can go heavy on Vipers and ultras. It's starting to look better and better for Reynor. Obviously always looked good, but maybe at one point it kind of felt this game had some momentum. Lings and Banes crash in, but this is what I meant. Banings do get on top of the ghost. The Lings get a ghost as well. And then once the ghost count is dwindling, you see the ultras showing up. I gotta say, this is still a pretty scary Terran army. You remember that actually? Yeah, it was fun. It was the COVID era. It was really awkward. None of the commentators ever wanted to do the interviews, so basically they all said, Rodder, you ask the questions. And then there would always be someone in chat who's like, why don't the other guys ask questions? Man, I'm so annoyed by RotterdaM. He thinks the interview is all about him. And I was like, they don't even know. I literally have these people telling me they don't want to do the interview. Just like, if I can just ask questions, that would be great. And then you get hate in return for it. Like, does he think it's all about him? It's like, can't freaking win. Commentators should not be handling the interviews. Stealthing. Viper with a lot of energy. I wouldn't hate a Parabomb here, but Reynor might go for Blinding Cloud. That is exactly what he's going to do. I think he would have killed these tanks anyway, to be fair. I really think Parabomb would have been a better choice. By the way, this Ultra looks very different than the Ultra from the last game. This one never dies. Classic main character Rodder. I feel like you can accuse me of a lot of things, mate, but I don't think that's something that they can ever say in regards to us. Obviously, on my own stream, I kind of do it my own way, and I just try to make it fun. I've been doing this for way too long at this point, so it's very important that I enjoy the way that I do things, and I'm not really trying to please everybody else. If I'm ever part of like an ESL or a DreamHack, whatever, there's very little main character energy coming out of me. I think on my own channel it's okay to meme a little bit. It's important to have fun, guys. If you're not having fun in what you're doing, then... well, then I would have quit 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago like everybody else quit from my era. I truly am the last of a dying breed, so let me do it my way. Blinding Cloud lands on the turret, the planetary. The tanks will fall. Reynor is gonna blow up another planetary here. Obviously, is still rich. Burrowed a couple banelings. Close. Gabe does throw down a scan here, maybe anticipating Reynor to burrow a few more banelings. This is now in orbitals. Kind of feels like the doors are wide open. Is there a world, guys, where Gabe can start turning this around? I mean, he's got 142 army supplies. If he can take control of this top center base, and he can obviously hang on to the bottom and at least mine out, and there's actually a lot of resources left here. Well, there really is hope for Gabe. Okay. There's nothing like saying there is hope for somebody to then see an orbital die to Zerglings. That's the best. Are we gonna repair it, Gabe? Guys? It's fine. It's a close call, but it's fine. A few Corruptors in the mix now as well, getting a couple shots off on the lips. HeRoMaRinE does still have a big army. With 142 supply, it'd be silly to say that the Terran does not have a shot. Ghost count currently 11. Reynor's drone count is obviously a bit lower than it once upon a time was, but that's completely okay. Once you have the bank, once you already have mined out a lot of your original bases, it's completely fine. You actually want a lower drone count. I do think Reynor should take these gases, by the way. Especially since we are oversaturated anyway on the minerals. Well, the boys are putting on a bit of a show for us. That makes me happy. This game was a nightmare in the very beginning for Gabe, but he went full turtle mode and he's starting to really turn it into something. This has been an incredibly long Big Brain Bouts. Very often, guys, we are like done an hour ago. Sometimes we're down 30 minutes ago. The fact that we are 30 minutes past 10 PM over here in Europe and we're still in game 2 of the main event, I'd say it's a good thing. It's been a long show. This game was hell for the Terran in the very beginning. If you make double cloak Banshee and they both die without firing a single shot, oh, that's hell. That is certified hell, mate. You like the long ones so you can get home from work and enjoy? That's good. By the way, this tank is hiding. It's very hidden. Barely saw it. It's got backup as well to PF. It's actually kind of a cool spot. Army's getting close to each other in the top side. Reynor feels that he can get on top of this army. We've got a flanking infested. The double fungal. The para bombs as well. What a fight. What a fight for Reynor. Lings, Ultras and Banes from the top left. A para bomb for the ages. And a sick double fungal coming out of one hero infester. Oh, that was painful for Gabe. That was very, very painful. 4 medevacs survived, guys, but barely. Savavi Shark, thank you so much, mate, for the 54 months. Hope all is good. By the way, V-Shark, since you've been a very big direct strike enjoyer for a long time, you should try Macabellum. A lot of the guys are playing it right now. I've been playing it. I actually think it's a perfect game for you. And I know how much you love direct strike, a whole lot more than I loved it. I think Mecha is great for you. Oh, you'd love it. I'm actually convinced you'd love it. If not, I'll buy the game for you. I think you'll love it. Nice hot pickups for Gabe there. Saves a lot of the ghost. Lings and Ultras will get on top of all the SCVs in the original triangle. 24 SCVs fall. What can... Man, look. This feels so sad when you look at somebody's bank and it just says 5 and it's not even going up. It says 5 and then you look at the other guy's bank and it says 4,700. It's like, ah! 5. 5 is so sad. Why doesn't it say 0 at that point, you know? This is hitting home way too hard, guys. I was looking at my own bank account and I was like, well, I'm not at 0, but pretty close. the 112, you know? Like, well, I hope there are no automatic subscriptions kicking in anytime soon. Because we'd be in trouble. 25-minute game on Frostline. But it is still, like, in a way, it can still be scary for Reynor. If HeRoMaRinE mines out this entire base, and the ghost count stays high, like, there is a shot for Gabe. Is it likely at this point? No. Of course, it's not very likely, but there are plenty of resources still to be mined that could allow the Terran to get a dream army one more time. The only real base that Gabe has right now, though, is this one at 6 o'clock. And it's so far away from the natural. This thing makes it incredibly difficult to be safe. That's so many Mews. HeRoMaRinE is about to have a pretty insane economy. It's like he's a 3-base Terran over here, guys. No, there's a lot of minerals left here, to be fair. I clicked on it earlier. I was surprised too. But the big patches all have over 1k, and then 1 or 2 of the small ones are about to be gone, but the other ones still have 400 or 500. So yeah, definitely a lot left to be mined. The gases have 2.1k and 2.1k, so they're 80% full. For the people who don't know, a gas starts with 2500, so there's definitely a lot left. In a weird way, there's more left at the bottom than there is at the top. Reynor has lost 5,000 resources more than HeRoMaRinE. I'd say those are very acceptable numbers for how much more Reynor has been mining throughout the game, but I guess it's not 100% over yet. Supporting content creator have lurked too long. Take the 2 months, matey. Thank you. All the support is appreciated. Even if you're just here. If you're here and you're funny, you make me laugh, you're not a dick, you're already very appreciated. The Reynor is still ahead in this game, but there is absolutely a world where Gabe makes something out of this. I definitely say that Reynor is still ahead in this game. There's a lot of gas left to be mined in the top left. But Reynor, normally not something you have to ever worry about. It's going to have to worry about the mineral bank in the near future. Gabe has actually played a pretty stunning game here on Frostline. Reynor's bank is big, but it's a little bit deceiving though, guys, because these armies are very expensive. So you look at this bank and you think like, oh, you can remax for days. No. Reynor's current army is worth 7,600 minerals. That's more than he has. That's almost more than he can ever get at this point. Like, I don't know how much money is left here. This is nothing. Topside is nothing. Like, Reynor's current army costs more minerals than he will ever have in this game. So, yes, he's rich, but he's not crazy freaking rich. And now he's actually losing one of his mining bases. I'm starting to believe that Gabe, with a little tribute here to Neep and his glory days at BlizzCon with the Fist of Neep. If you guys thought that the Fist of Neep was big, imagine how big Gabriel, his fist, would do. If he maxes out, he's at 185 army supply at the moment. Has just lost his most remaining SCVs. He's got 2 SCVs left. Reynor, his screens are in a bit of a pickle on the low ground. Gabe doesn't, I want to say, really need to be here, but apparently he just believes. He believes that this is where he needs to be. Ghost count is 16. Reynor doesn't love having Broodlords. Indeed, 0 attempts of drop lord play on the side of Reynor this game, and no Nidus networks have been dropped either. Was there ever a chance for them? I'd say yes. Everyone's even adding a couple fortresses over here. They might get that little barrier upgrade. I know it's called a Thor, guys. I wouldn't clump up all the tanks. 14 tanks in total. They're just gonna move all the spores. Why does it just feel that Big Gabriel has created an army that can never die? All the links running into the natural main is annoying, but Gabe is not... Oh, the Thors actually. That's kind of bad if the Thors die. Thors don't like to be surrounded by 3-3 Zerglings. No, Gabe is just moving 200 supply back to deal with some Zerglings. Well, that is most certainly a play. Reynor down to 6 drones. HeRoMaRinE down to 4 SCVs. Because Gabe is now building 7 Hellbats and 2 Vikings. I don't know, man. Isn't Gabe just like kind of winning this? Unless Reynor has absolutely magical spellcasting. Yeah. Reynor is broke. He is trying to create the Fist of Reynor, but I don't know if he can max out. I'm gonna try. I don't know about taking this base at this point, by the way. I can't quite see how many minerals are left right now, but it's not a lot. I'm sure Reynor is having some flashbacks of that game on that yellow gold map against Spirit back then in the COVID era. He was not happy. Reynor was not happy about that one. He was talking about those games before this series. Well, he's reliving it. The Neo-Humanity game, yeah. The Fist of Gabe is here. A little EMP landed on one of the infestors. The spores are leading the charge. The Ultralisk are just kind of confused. Look at this army, man. How do you fight this army? The Terran army is bigger than your army. I want to say there's nothing you can do. This game just lose another orbital to Zerglings. Alright, so how does Reynor kill this army? Some sick fungals, a blinding cloud. Oh, this might be the moment, Reynor. This is it, no? Reynor, this is it. I don't know about Gabe. Everything is so clumped up and on siege going down the ramp. Gabriel, meine Fresse. No, we have not been battling 32 minutes to move our army down the ramp like that. Or did we? Or did we? Is there a world where Reynor runs out of anti-air, by the way? I don't see a lot of anti-air, but I don't see a lot of air for HeRoMaRinE either. It is a very close battle between two Corruptors and a Queen against the Liberator and the Viking. GG gets called. Gabe? What was that? What was that? I can't believe that we moved 150 supply down the ramp like that. Oh no. I mean, it was a game that started off as absolute hell for Gabe. But a 10 out of 10 thorough effort really put him in an amazing position. But then it just kind of threw. I don't know why he went down that ramp like that. Ay. Oh well. That gives us something to think about. A 2-0 lead for the Italian Stallion. I think they're both taking a little look at the replay. Game 3 will be played on El Dorado. Bit sad that the guys didn't want to try more of the newer maps. Interview with the winner. Haru, you're killing me, mate. You guys sometimes don't keep in mind that I'm old. I sit here for 7 hours, 22 minutes. My ribs hurt, my side hurts. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. You guys are like, interview? Why always me? Lulu Cup, I have to do the interview. Masters Coliseum, I have to do the interview. Why always me? Let the old man rest, guys. Alright, Reynor is ready for game 3. Gabe is ready. Now, I believe that Reynor is streaming, so you guys can always hang out with Reynor on his channel. I will gladly host Reynor's stream after this. But no interviews after tonight. I am just going to enjoy myself. I want to get some food, mate. I said 4 best of 5s, Gary. I said 4 best of 5s is fine. But if you add everything up before, and then also you're adding in afters, then it becomes more. No. We don't do interviews on the Friday night. Maybe one day, something very special. Number 100, we can make it bigger. We can do some interviews, but we're not gonna make regular interviews on the Friday.
Round 3. Fight.
It's not the same at all, mate. Bottom left side of El Dorado, down 0-2. Great start in game 1. Unfortunately, didn't go his way. Horrible start in game 2. Almost went his way, but it didn't go his way. Can we turn things around here on El Dorado? It is the biggest of games. HeRoMaRinE. I could interview you next week, Holy Squid. If you guys like start at 5 and you'll be done way before 6, yeah, I can do an interview with you. Bottom right side of El Dorado, we are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion, having a very good record in the BBB. He's about to make it even better. It is Reynor. Main event, obviously, always $150 for the winner and 50 for the loser. I think HeRoMaRinE is very appreciative of the format of just playing a single best of 5, doing your best, and that is it. I know that Gabe is not a very big fan of online tournaments in which he has to play a qualifier, a group stage, another group stage, and then playoffs spread across multiple days. And then, unless he wins it, feels like it wasn't really worth it of his time. Well, a lot of time went by. That game was a lot longer than I thought. How many pizza ingredients you can buy for $50? So, Vicky has recently been making not pasta, but like gnocchi or something, whatever they call it. Gabe made it for us at the Home Story Cup. It was not something he served to everyone. He just like made a couple special plates and he gave me one. I was like, man, I never ate this thing in my life, but I love it. And because of Gabe, Vicky now also starts making it too, and it's really good, man. I freaking love it. We had it yesterday. Yeah, it's so good. It's like legit one of my favorite things that I'd never tried until Gabe served it to me at the most recent Home Story Cup. So freaking good. I also put some chili peppers on it. And when I say some, I mean a lot. I put chili peppers on everything. So yeah, shout out to Big Gabriel for giving me something new that I never knew I needed in my life. And without him, I probably would have never tried, but Holy smokes, is that good? Don't ask me who makes it better, guys. Both Gabe and Vicky were amazing. I ate like 5. Oh, I ate so many, man. You have no idea. Cooking off stream. I don't know if Vicky be down for that. I don't do it with Sambo. Sambo is... I use Sambo for a lot of things. Like if I have like a schnitzel, I like eating it with curry, but then I put some Sambo through the curry. If I have pizza, I like it with garlic sauce, and I put Sambo through the garlic sauce. I wouldn't put it through that. Maybe I would like it, but I feel like that is more... Like some dishes are just meant for chili peppers, and some are meant for Sambo. And to me there is a big difference, because one is dry and the other one is a bit wet. Does anyone know if HeRoMaRinE is semi-retired or still plays to go pro? I mean, he doesn't really have to go pro, because he has been a pro for a very long time. But Gabe obviously at this point is focusing on some other things in his life, like a lot of other Starcraft 2 players are. Because guys that have been playing this game for over 10 years, they want really big things to get excited over. There's many games out there, many esports, where people will get very excited over any little like in-game tournament or a tiny $50 tournament. But you can't really expect it of these guys that have been playing this game for over 10 years, have been there, have done that. So they're kind of just waiting for big announcements. If there are really big announcements, they'll do their best. They'll charge themselves up and they'll give it their all. If there is nothing big to look forward to, they'll still play, they'll stream, they'll make a couple of videos, but they're not Omega excited to be a full-time pro gamer at that point. I think at this point, Gabe... Ooh, what the hell is even this? I love it! He's been enrolled in university for a while, but he also says that it's not the kind of university that takes all of his time. So he can still play a lot of StarCraft if he wants to, and he's clearly still focused on, you know, streaming in particular. I think he will definitely play in the 2v2 Cup tomorrow. I hope all of you guys have a lot of fun in the Uthermal Cup. If one of my admins, mods, whatever, VIPs can link the bracket. Uthermal has his second edition of the 2v2 Cup. Maybe Serral will even play with Zugale, yeah? I'm kind of sad that I'm going to miss it, but I promised my dad and my brother I'd be there for family time. I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with my bro and my dad. I can't always decline everything for another thing that happens in StarCraft. I'll definitely play in the 3rd edition though, with Reynor. He doesn't know it yet, but we've already signed up. Any Serral games anytime soon? Tomorrow, maybe we'll even stream for you guys. 2nd edition of the Uthermal Cup. No, that is probably not very fun. Pen, I can't really spin it any other way. I don't think that is fun as the EV block goes down. A couple of Hellions will get a few shots off. A very clean defense by Reynor in the end. Now it really all comes down to the Marine drop in the main. Reynor is already moving units back into position, unfortunately for Gabe, with his hidden base. I want to say this is not quite working out yet. The follow-up is an extreme one. I mean, Gabe is going full content creator over here. Hidden base. 2 starport battlecruiser. If he wins this game against Reynor and he turns it into a YouTube video, honestly, Loco would have to worry. Things would get scary for Loco. Because that video would get some clicks. Gabe would hit us with a nice thumbnail like, can you believe what I pulled off against the 2-time finalist of Katowice? Honestly, I'd click on it immediately. Immediately. Oh, Reynor is circling. Oh no! Reynor is circling. Finds the hidden base. One of the medevacs got picked up as well by the queens. Reynor, what is the anti-air looking like? 8 queens. Almost all of them in the top side of the map. Reynor has seen it though, right? Hello, Reynor? I'm surprised that he didn't send some units earlier. Alright, we're gonna send some more Zerglings to the hidden base. This is very not needed at all. A very uncharacteristic misread by Reynor, guys, but we are now morphing Banelings to blow up a base that barely has any SCVs to begin with. I don't think he really knows about the BCs either. Huh. I mean, I'm sure that Gabriel will look at the banelings here and be like, alright, good luck, mate. So 2 BCs are... he's gonna show up with 4 battle cruisers. It's gonna be so hard for Reynor to kill 4 BCs, no? I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at Reynor's point of view, guys. I'm kind of... okay. HeRoMaRinE throws down a scan. Reynor has now dropped the Spire, but it's gonna take a little while before that Spire is done. Big Gape throws down some scans. 4 BCs into the main base. Reynor sees it. He's got Spore Crawlers, and I think the only thing that Reynor can do is an all-out ground offensive. Quadruple Yamato straight onto the Hive. Maybe you can kill the Hive, kill the Infestation Pit, and then you can kill the Spire as well. Spire is being built in the 3rd. It's almost a shame that he used all those Yamatos for the Hive. I'd say that's better to use on the Queens, because, man, this is a banger. Where are the Overlords? Can we farm some Overlords? How good are the Giga Chat Spore Crawlers against 4 BCs? What a build by Gabe. What a build. Oh man, Giga Jet Spore, so good. No, the Giga Jet Spore softened up one of the BCs, but Queen's not that good against BCs. Can he get the Spire? Kill the Spire! Oh my god, Gabe! Oh, a little bit too late. Does get it, but it should allow Reynor to at least fire up some units. Oh, if he's a little bit quicker there, he would have killed all of it. Yeah, 7 Corruptors cannot fight 4 BCs, obviously. Man, is Gabe winning, guys, with a hidden base. Double Starport BC. BC 5 and 6 are out. Oh, Gabe. Gabriel, minus Gabriel. Yamato lands on one of the Queens. He teleports one of the BCs home. Lands a few more Yamatos. He's going to jump the second one home. Here come the Corruptors. He jumps everything home. Units lost. 1.6k against 4.3. I mean, Reynor is just dead, no? Lost his Hive. Lost his Infestation Pit. Oh, no, he didn't. Well, he might. He might bleed out. Lost his spawning pool. Oh, Gabe, this is the start of your YouTube career, man. I'm sure Gabriel has a YouTube channel. I think that's why he made a video once about the Terran University. Then he had a few applicants and he gave up hope immediately and he said, I'm done with this. It was a great idea, I just never really got going. The Terran University was short-lived. Nate was here, Stir-Fried Pingwing. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here earlier. And he said he was just going to spam some large Gabriel memes in the chat from time to time. And BC's 4 days. If Nate is still here, he'd be happy. Is he still doing Bronze to Gem? You mean Gabe? I don't know. I find all of this stuff so ridiculous. All the Bronze to Gem I've always thought was ridiculous. And all the handicaps that some of the pros give themselves just to turn guys on the ladder into content. It's like I had to play against HeRoMaRinE once when he was doing a challenge, guys. He was trying to figure out how high could he go on the ladder by building Marines. It's not like he said like, oh, I'm gonna build Hellbats or something. No. Can I beat some guys with Marines? Yes, Gabe. You can beat like 99.99999% of the player base with the best unit that this universe has ever seen. What kind of a challenge is that? I lost to him. They're like, well, Roddy, you lost to HeRoMaRinE. He gave himself a handicap. He could only build Marines. Yeah, well, turns out that unit's really good. You want to try to beat HeRoMaRinE when he's spamming Marines, mate? Good luck with it. It's not easy. Reynor and his Corruptors are trying to battle. The insanely high BC count does seem like one of the BCs went down there. It's 2 BCs so far. Oh my god, it's even a 3rd BC. Gabe is definitely messing up a little bit. Losing 3 BCs like that, I don't think it's quite the play, but... I mean, I also beat Harston when he was tryharding. When he was trying to get 7k or whatever it was. The road to 7k. Beat him on Data C. Was actually a goated game by me. And then I've lost games against Dark Shrines in my base and everything. You win some, you lose some, mate. When you go up against people that are very good in this game. They can beat you with funny stuff, but from time to time you can also beat them when they're tryharding. Because there is a fine line between like the pro and the not pro, and where you have a chance and where you don't have a chance. Gabe has been very sloppy with the BCs. If he was a tiny bit cleaner, I feel like he would have been absolutely cooking in this game. Messing the jump up one time is okay. Messing it up twice, maybe pushing it already, but losing 5 BCs, and I think 4 of them he legitimately could have saved, is a little bit unfortunate. I also feel like this is not how this is supposed to go, you know? I feel like you're supposed to get in range, drop some Yamatos, and then jump them back one by one. When Gabe moves out with 6 BCs, sees some Corruptors, jumps all 6 of them back. Or it's too late with the jump. But he still has a very good shot. He's got an insane army. He can maybe just jump these BCs straight into the fight immediately as well. We've got Marines with Stim, M+1, 1 medevac. What the hell is this game? I don't know what I'm looking at, but I love it. Can HeRoMaRinE get a point on the board after sniping the Hive, sniping the Spire? Uh-oh. The Vipers are so scary. And the BCs really don't have very good upgrades. Oh my god, these BCs are melting. It doesn't look like it's gonna go Gabe's way. The Parasitic Bomb is gonna do crazy damage. HeRoMaRinE having a tough time splitting up that Viking. The Marines on the ground don't quite cut it. Extra BCs showing up. Do we have some Yamatos? Do we have a jump? We have a jump. Do we have a Yamato? Yes, we do. Oh, Gabe. I think that Gabriel really had this game, but just lost a few too many BCs. A brilliant idea. Reynor obviously having a bit of a misread as well, morphing those little banelings here to blow up 3 SCVs. It could have been absolutely fantastic in set. It kind of feels like now HeRoMaRinE just has a weak army. It's a shame. Well, we've had a great day of StarCraft. I had fun, you guys had fun, we all had fun. I'm sure Reynor had fun. No little appearance, picks up 150 buckies. I thought it was excellent to see HeRoMaRinE play some games again. First game showed some of his old school early game TVZ brilliance, even if it was barely not enough, looked really good in that regard. Second game turned absolutely nothing into something that felt like it should have been a win. Unfortunately, it barely slipped away. And the third game, a bit random, a bit out there, but very fun. A crazy idea with the BCs. And if we executed a tiny bit better, it could have gone his way. He's now just going mass BC, by the way. I mean, he's been kind of going mass BC all game, I guess, but we're now getting more BCs than I've ever seen. He's got 8 and he's building 4 more. Unit's lost resource tap is now incredibly even. We're like 2 Zerglings away. No, wait. Yeah. Literally 2 Zerglings away from it being pretty much exactly even. We're a ling apart. Maybe an easier way to say it. A roach. I mean, I've seen moments where I take a look at the unit's lost resource tap and it's like, it's like legit even. Mineral for mineral. But that happens more in mirror matchups than it happens in these kinds of games. It is definitely very close. Anything, you know, within a couple hundred from each other, this many minutes into a game is obviously very close. Well, Reynor is building Infestus. Hey, that spawning pool did bleed out, by the way. I knew he was going to lose it, guys. Yeah, HeRoMaRinE does have 2-2 now. Earlier, a couple of these fights, the BCs legitimately had 0-0. We're now looking at 12 2-2 BCs. I think it all comes down to, are we able to snipe the spellcasters or not? It's 25 Vikings. This is paradise for Fungols, an absolute paradise for a parasitic bomb. But if HeRoMaRinE can scan those spellcasters and he can snipe them before they land their spells, well, I kind of believe in his army, to be fair. The Corruptors have +1 armor, that's it. Working on +1 attack. And honestly, this is actually it's looking quite doable game for game. Oh, this is beautiful. The Concave, the Giga Jet Spores, the Vikings coming in from the back, Yamato for days. And because not all of the Vikings are revealed, like the extra Vikings showed up a little bit later. Now don't fly them into your parasitic bomb. Oh my god, he is so on top of a million spores. More parasitic bombs land. HeRoMaRinE should have really killed those final 2 spore crawlers before being here, but he's kind of doing his thing. Upgrades are carrying. Oh my god, we are 1 fungo away here from being in so much pain. But can we kill those Corruptors? Can we kill the Vikings? What's on the production tab? 31 Corruptors? Okay, we're not killing 31 Corruptors. We can kill 10. We can kill 15. I don't think we kill 31. But if you kill a million Overlords, maybe the Hive again. What the hell is happening? Sky Terran is so back. Alright, here Reynor had enough. Drops the Parabomb and he's now gonna try to take a fight with his 31 additional Corruptors. Only 23 remaining, to be fair. They're dying rather quick. But in the end, all the BCs will fall. The Vikings will fall. Lynx are doing that thing on the other side of the map. And that is going to do it. Reynor, after 19 minutes and 25 seconds, gets the W. Gets the clean sweep in the main event. Now, this is the second time that these guys ever played against each other in the main event. And a long time ago, I remember, like, HeRoMaRinE, he was totally down to play, and then he was streaming, and he said, like, yeah, I'm not really in the mood for this. I just kind of want to get it over with. And the 3 games were a bit underwhelming. Today, it's a 3-0, and I honestly think it was a fun series. Fun series with very different ways that it played out, different strategies being used. Thank you so much to Athena celebrating the victory of our little Italian boy. And big shout out to BASILISK as well for, of course, first and foremost, allowing us to run another edition of the Big Brain Bouts. Today we made gamers happy with $500. And then of course they also made me very happy with the extra subs. Reynor said it wasn't even close. I was definitely not pooping my pants at the end. Sounds like he was joking. I hope Reynor had fun, guys. Always nice to have Reynor stream for a couple hours. I hope Silvano had fun. He hung out. Big shout out to Indy. Thanks, Indy, for helping out as always. And that's going to do it for me, guys. 11 p.m. We have been live for 7 hours and 43 minutes. I'll settle that prediction. I'm just so happy that I can actually stream again. You guys have... I know you guys will probably think that, oh, you looked annoyed last week, Roddy, but you guys have no idea how, like, omega tilted I actually was. That I, like, everything was hell, and I felt so bad. I felt bad for the gamers that I invited. I felt bad for the people. I felt bad for the co-streamers of different languages. Felt bad to BASILISK. Last week was just so crappy. And I had such a good month of January, so it was so freaking depressing to end the month of January like that. But I'm glad that it seems that most of my tech problems are in the past, and we just had a fun night of games. A 3-2, a 3-2, a 3-1, and a 3-0. I'm happy. We should have just pretended this was... By the way, I'm using dark mode now. I think it looks ugly. Honestly, bright is better. Trigger warning. 3, 2, 1, bam. Yeah, I'm home again. These were the matches today, guys. Jacob won the 3,200 MMR showdown between him and Air. Some very wacky games between these guys. Moja got a cool 3-2 victory, especially with some Hyperflight Rotor Banshees in Game 5. Future, honestly, just looked better than Wayne. Tables have turned between these two. Great performance by Joseph. And last but not least, Reynor taking down HeRoMaRinE in some very entertaining games. What's in store for next week? I don't know. Will we have news about EWC by the time next week? I believe 3 games are about to be announced, right? Honestly, in the year of the rabbit, that has to be us.